Hi, I'm Brandi Lust, and I'm a speaker and consultant in the Midwest who helps schools, businesses, and nonprofit organizations to be more resilient and more connected to one another. Six years ago, I was in a job where I felt alienated and ineffective, and in the midst of all of that unfolding, I was diagnosed with major depression and generalized anxiety. So there was a lot that was wrong. But in this particular moment, it felt like something different. So I opened up my laptop without a thought in my mind and searched symptoms of depression. And that's when I realized that I had every single one. For the first time in my life, I felt like I didn't have anything to hold on to. I felt like my humanity didn't matter, and it influenced the way that I did my job. Even though I really cared about what I was doing, it was hard to show up every day. And I recognized that there was a difference between who I had to be at work and who I was able to be at home, and it didn't feel good to me. And I knew that I wanted to be a whole person, and I wanted to give other people the opportunity to do that as well. The more that I learned about the topics of mindfulness and emotional intelligence and authenticity, the more I realized that what would help individuals would also help the communities in which they worked. Leadership vulnerability encourages psychological safety. So what's the first thing I did when I came up here? I just started dancing on stage in front of everyone, just like breaking it down. I told an embarrassing story, right? And I was like, here's a really big failure. And you all can look at this and, think about it and, oh, well, she's willing to do that. Stress, anxiety, depression, all of those things are on the rise. And they're not just impacting how people live. They're also impacting the ways that people show up at work. And some of those things are even caused by our jobs. As a speaker, I think a lot about not just what content I can share, but how participants can take that knowledge and then apply it to their own lives and their own experiences immediately. Because that's part of education, is making sure that folks are able to take the skills and then apply them so that they're personally meaningful. The thing that matters most to me is recognizing that every community is made up of human beings, and that the health of each one of those human beings matters to the performance of that community, whether it's a nonprofit organization, whether it's a school, or whether it's a business. And so I try to provide tools for folks to be resilient in this time of increasing fast-paced change through mindfulness. I provide resources for folks to develop social and emotional intelligence so that they can better collaborate with one another within the organization and outside of the organization. Then I try to make sure that within the experience, there are opportunities where they can feel more connected to one another. When someone leaves an educational experience with me, I want them to feel heard. I want them to feel valued. I want them to recognize that connection is a risk worth taking. It's their humanity that makes them valuable. When we feel safe to show up as we really are, we are actually more effective. If you're interested in collaborating with me or learning more about how we might work together, you can visit my website, brandilust.com, and reach out via the contact